Alright, so we're doing exercise 5b, and in this video we're going through question 3c, which says, for each of the following, complete the square, sketch the graph, and state the range. So we have to do three things, and we're given y equals 2x squared minus 4x plus 6. Immediately, we should know that when we're completing the square, I can't have a coefficient in front of my x squared. My coefficient has to be 1. So that means now, when I'm coming to it, I'm going to have to do something with this 2. And I'm going to take it out. I'm going to take the 2 out. So I have x squared, which means now I'm going to have 2x here. And I'm going to have 3 here. So I've just divided everything by 2. Now I can complete the square for this right here. So I'm going to rewrite it as y equals 2 x squared minus 2x. And we remember that when we're completing the square, we take our coefficient, so in this case negative 2, we halve it, so it's going to be negative 1, and then we square it, so it's going to be positive 1. So we're going to have plus 1, then we're going to have to minus that in order to ensure it balances, and then I'm going to plus 3, and then close my bracket. Then I'm going to go y equals 2, and now we're going to say, well, what was all this business of plussing 1 then minusing 1? We did that because now this right here is a perfect square, which can be neatly factorized into x minus 1 and square that. Now I have negative 1 plus 3, which is going to turn into plus 2 and close my brackets. Now I'm going to put this 2 inside my brackets, so it's going to be y equals 2 x minus 1 squared plus 4. Now that it's in this form, it's going to enable me to much more easily to draw this graph. So first I'm going to identify what my turning point is. Oh, if I can get my pen to work. My turning point is going to be this number, but positive, and then this number. So that means it's going to be 1, 4, it's going to be here. And I'm going to put in the fact that this is 1, 4. Labeling your coordinates is always very important. I know that my graph is going to look something like this. Whoops, let me try that again. It's going to look something like this, which means I'm crossing the y-axis. So I'm going to have to solve for my y-intercept. So let me do that now. Get my pen. To find my y-int, I'm going to have to let x equal 0. So let me give myself plenty of room here. Room. So I'm going to have y equals 2. I'm going to put a 0 here, minus 1 squared plus 4. So I'm going to end up having y equals 2 negative 1 squared plus 4. So I'm going to have y equals 2 minus 1 squared is going to be 1. This is timesing. And then plus 4. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 4. My y-intercept is going to be at 6. So now I come up here and I say my y-intercept is going to be here. And again, I'm going to label that as 0 and 6. Now that I have my y-intercept and my turning point, I can now give this a sketch. So it's going to look like this. So I've completed the square, I've sketched the graph, now I need to state my range. Let me do that right here. What will my range be? My range. Well, my range is going to be the set of all the possible y values. My first y value is going to be 4. And as you can see, I'm going up and up and up. And these are going to go on for infinity, which means that my range is going to go up and up and up for infinity. So it's going to be 4 to infinity. So that's my range. Here is my sketched graph, and I've completed the square. So I've done the three things that the question asked of me. Hopefully you're now able to answer question 3C.